Hey folks, let's do this. Hello, welcome to today's stream. Let's go live, shall we? Bitcoin. Nice, let's pull this mic in a little closer. So, we've recovered 10K, albeit briefly. It's super important to note, big round numbers only matter because we have 10 fingers. And do not forget that. Right, we were born with 10 fingers. So that means everyone except the Babylonians decided to form their number system based on, well, 10. Why? 10 fingers. Simple as that. If anyone knows why the Babylonians had their hexadecimal system instead, please let me know. That's kind of cool. I could probably just Google it. Never mind. But anyway, when you see nice big round values like this, people place more significance on it than they should, right? Simply because human beings like round numbers. I'm sorry. That's all I can say about the value. There's going to be high pools of liquidity on either side of the value, and because of that, it's going to be, I hate this term, a self-fulfilling prophecy. I know, don't kill me. But when it actually comes to self-fulfilling prophecies, you can't bet on it one way or another. Right? You can't say, oh, we're going to go long above 10K or you're going to go short below 10K. Why? Well, because there are large players who know there's going to be plenty of newbies who are going to do that exact thing. So liquidity pools are made to be abused, and because of that, I would really be wary on actually trying to trade that data, okay? So with that in mind, every single wave PM value on the 1 hour chart was below 0.7, and now we do have comprehensive net expansion. Our CLCP did end, which is great, which implies continuous trend, or at least brief continuous trend. I'm sure we might generate a new plume of over expansion here, which would be cool, because then we could have some trend defining pivots on this lower time frame. Might have something on the 15 minute. Let's see what 3D wave PM shows us. Yeah, we've got a few values above 0.9. Looks like we're maxing out at the 300 value, so let's let ACAT define that for us. Yeah, trend defining pivot's still miles away at 9,700 for the time being. That's going to rise very rapidly over the course of the day. If you want to copy that line I just drew, it should accurately define price action. I believe so. Very nice to see our compression range held for so long. Goodness gracious, this is a good indicator. Right, because if you're inside the band, you'll stay in the band, and then your upper extreme value is this here. And if your zone ends and you are in a state of expansion, it implies trend. So, a bit of a new revelation. Hard to automate because the way this band can sometimes cut out briefly. But as far as actually looking at your charts, it is very appealing, I must say. All right, because when you actually tag these outer values, you do get brief reversal. However, it might end in expansion. Like, see, this here is another failed example where the range ends and then you still respect the pivots. So, any kind of trend confirmation or quad CCI entry would be beneficial for entering in that kind of scenario. Let's talk about the daily, though, or the 4 hour, excuse me. Because ACAT should define some nice periods for us. And there's actually a bullish upward expansion here, which is really good. I do not know if our current mean reversion condition here on the 605 is considered fully compressed. Let's open up the data window so we just get a good understanding of it. This one. Let us scroll down. Yep. 500 is clean, 600 is right behind it. Longest overexpanded to 605. So that's really close to being free and golden. Very high potential energy at this current pivot. CCI is weighted positively, and you do have the bullish CCI cross, or excuse me, the implied expansion on the wave PM and the bullishly weighted CCI, which typically results in short-term trend. So I am short-term bullish, I will say that, probably 10,500 at the minimum, just based on this compression line from the CLCP. Of course, if that fades out, that'd be really cool because that would result in the next bull run. That's all it would take, really. this compression range ends and we actually get some upward expansion, I would bet on that. Oh yeah, actually I'm already betting on it. Who am I kidding? I've been long for quite some time. I scooped up some longs and I did not have any metrics to base this prediction on, which I'm willing to admit. But I believed we would see lateral mean reversion over trending mean reversion, right? So price would go sideways and the mean would travel up to meet price, instead of course the opposite, where price travels down to meet the mean. And that has been somewhat true, and I'm happy with that. Also, another really bullish sign we saw was on the 1 hour chart with the liquidation wick, right? Whenever you see a tight range and a huge wick to the other side, you can pretty safely just take a bet in the other direction. Of course, use a good stop. I mean, there's not really a science behind it. It's just a good predictor of if there's a liquidity pool or if there's a predictable stop loss in a tight range, chances are it's going to get scooped. And if, well, you're scooping liquidity pools, then it implies trend is in the other direction, right? In Wyckoff theory, that's known as the spring. It can be seen on lower time frames like the 1 hour chart. You just need really tight compression ranges for that to actually appear viable, okay? But again, comprehensive net expansion to the upside. This is a bullish chart. Our mean reversion condition on the 4 hour is almost gone, so our macro level bearish bias is getting close to being invalid, which is good, right? Because we had this beautiful trend defining pivot from the previous weeks, which I will now define for you. Let's check yep, we're good. So we have this trend defining pivot coasting along through here. Beautiful. And then, also, for all you people watching the live stream, can you please comment which altcoins you'd like me to look at today so I can analyze some charts after this? Thank you very much. Yeah, so this compressionary period has apparently been sufficient as defined by 3D wave PM and regular wave PM. It's bullish. I like it. I don't think we're going to hold 10K. I think we'll dip below it a few more times, but the trend is up. As far as actually trend entry goes, quad CCI might treat you well, right? Anytime you get every single CCI period way down the same side, like so, boop, all you want is the 14 period rolling up. And you get that entry there, and there you go. That's your long into the next bull run, right? I am predicting $48,000 in 8 months because of our beautiful gold fractal, which we are now going to compare. XAU USDG. Yep, that's the right one. Except I forgot to desynchronize charts. Ooh, that's fun to look at. 1% drop today, eh? Hold on. CUSD. Alright, now you can actually compare charts. We want this one to be on the 2-day. And this bad boy we want to be on the monthly. Looking good, man. I'm just going to hide the indicators because why would I have them on? Beautiful. Alright, so we've got logarithmic scaling on as well. It's fine. I'm going to turn it off briefly. I don't really think it matters because I don't use any static values. If you use static trend lines, turning log on and off is going to cause you problems, but because I don't, it doesn't matter. I really don't see the difference. Anyway. Gold fractal. Very nice. So, we have upward trend, euphoria at the top, a compressionary period filled with panic, right? Then we can actually define that in the 3D wave PM just fine, right? Each section is this blue circle here, and then the next downward trend, this here and this here is defined by this expansion, right? In each scenario, followed by another brief compressionary period, the nice scooping rounding bottom, followed by higher high, and higher high, right? Next up is the brief compressionary period, like so. I will admit this has dipped a little bit further than I anticipated, but the trend is still defined. So, with that in mind, Gold proceeded to run up another 300%. Just using static predictions. Yeah, it works out for Bitcoin too. So we have a short-term bullish signal and a long-term bullish chart, so I'm long. Would you imagine that? That's it for Bitcoin. Let me check if there's any coins you guys want me to do. I'm going to pop this chat out 1 second. See what we got. Okay. If we just need to buy or sell at a round number, we wouldn't we all be rich by now? Yeah, that's good. Good stuff with liquidity pools dead on. Could you please look at oil? Can you give me the ticker for which one you want me to look at? Escape Productions would like me to look at EOS, please. Yeah, and singles, which is actually a call right now. I think most coins are actually bearish at the moment. But why don't we take a look? You never know. EOS, BTC. Probably not the 2-day chart. Alright, you want to use quad CCI and define retracement values. So it's not going to work because you no longer have weighting on the CCI. Actually, you never had weighting on the CCI because of the previous downward expansion is defined here. 3 to 8 p.m. isn't going to define that correctly. I'm going to try the 6 hour. Let's see what that does for us. Alright, because we're maxing out our periods and we have volatility overhead. It's super messy. So it's hard to find the actual bullish mean reversion pivot. So what you want to do is define upward trend on lower time frames. 1 hour chart is super compressed with no implied direct. It's actually a downward implied direction, but I would hold your breath on this one. We're waiting for this bearish mean reversion to load, which is currently defined as the 275, 300 period. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. There we go. Hey, that's a nice mean reversion condition. Look at that. So we activated the condition here. We never got an entry signal for it, just the activation of the condition. And then we needed to stay compressing in this band and maybe go to the mean, which it did. Cool. Condition is invalidated by now, or at least completed. That's the better word for it. So trend continuation is technically possible. You just want to see which way you get comprehensive net expansion. Should happen pretty quickly. As soon as you actually get consistent weighting on every single period on your CCI, you can just reliably bet in direction. So if it weights itself to the upside, buy. If it weights itself to the downside, you can sell. Okay. And obviously that's going to be a smaller scalp position because we are on the 1 hour chart. You shouldn't expect more than a 5% gain for that kind of move. And I cannot define the bullish mean reversion condition just yet because everything's overexpanded, right? So that does imply trend exhaustion to the downside, which is good if you're a bull. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's check out singles. SMGLS. Hey, yeah, I'm still long on this, man. This is a good upward trend. You have good implied upward expansion. This is an active call. I like it. It's good. That's all I'm going to give you because this is proprietary information at this point. You got to pay for this. Yeah, but I like singles. That's what I'll tell you. If there's any hot new ones in my area, let me know. Ha! I'm sorry. Couldn't resist. Let's XRP. Yep. Okay. XRP BTC. Let's wait for. That's quite the dip. That's a bearish expansion. This is technically bearish. This is implied trend continuation. I don't know if I like that, but I do have a strong bullish bias. I should probably get rid of it though, looking at this. That's not good. I mean, the trend line's super obvious, so this could just be the liquidity scoop again. But it's really confluent. Like, you have comprehensive net expansion to the downside and a broken trend line. It implies trend continuation. I'm sorry. But you do have an active bullish mean reversion condition, so that makes things tough. Might be worth waiting for confirmation. I should probably set a stop loss. That's not good. I feel like the trend line's too obvious, so I'm really hesitant. But it does look bearish. I wouldn't bet on it. I just dropped my guitar pick. Cat chart says, should mention ACAT video series. Absolutely. And the high resolution ACAT coming out this weekend. The full plus experimental is changing to deluxe, with price going up after that for new subscribers to that tier. Very much recommend looking into the ACAT video series. I need to update the thumbnails and put them all in a playlist, so I should probably do that after the stream. Do keep updated on that note. So if you want to use this nice, beautiful indicator that defines compression and mean reversion ranges for you, goodness gracious, go ahead and click the doodly-doo in the description, and it will whisk you away to a magical land of paid indicators. Highly recommend. I am a little biased. I mean, how would I not be? But they work and I make money, so maybe you could too. How's that for a sales pitch? All right, well, let's take another look at a chart. Let's do Litecoin. LTC, BTC. Take a look. Very nice. Ooh, that's bullish. I would bet on that. That's really good. That is a classic wave PM cross on here on the 4-hour chart. Let's see if I can actually find the mean reversion condition though on the 1 hour. Because if there's a bullish mean reversion condition to boot, that'll be something. Okay, so 4 hours bullish. 1 hour implies resistance, all right? Because you have the outer range of the 3.2. If this stops printing, while we have the bullish expansion here on the 4-hour chart, that's going to fly. So definitely keep a look on Litecoin. This is a good chart. Implied upward expansion. Just want to wait for the resistance to break on the 1-hour chart. Because we are at an implied extreme value. And because of that, you want this to be reading as comprehensive net expansion as well, instead of just the extreme compression range. It's a great chart. I like it. I want to see how it breaks. QM would be fine. Are you talking about oil? I got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Check FUSD. Super tight compression range, positively weighted CCI, implied upward expansion. It's good. Volatility overhead for a good compression range. Activation of the mean reversion condition appears to be happening this candle. A target of $260 is viable. And we have implied upward expansion. Oh my god, yes! Would you look at this, guys? Shoe fly. Don't bother me. This is really good. Yeah, our compression. Okay, so this is what I wanted on Litecoin. Right, compression range has ended. Implied upward expansion on the 1-hour chart with bullish mean reversion on the 4-hour. It's so good. I love it. Really clean chart. I might actually call this, like right now. Or wait for the quad CCI entry. I don't know. That's tough. Well, for all you folks on TradingView, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to this beautiful live stream. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. I guess I'll stick around for you YouTube folks a little bit longer. See what you guys want me to look at.
Nice.
Better be good, though. Don't waste my time. QM would be fine. Okay. I gotta tell you, I am not familiar with trading this asset class. Oh. Sure. Alright. Fay analysis. It's 2007, and before that since 2001. So, in economic downturns, oil performs very poorly and gold performs relatively well. So, when you get this kind of significant price divergence before the drawdowns, I would be careful. So, macro level, I'm very bearish on oil for economic downturns, so just keep that in mind. I'm predicting that we'll see at least a recession within 18 months, okay? Or at this point, 17 months, excuse me. As far as actual TA goes, yeah, I don't really have an implied downward entry quite yet. Mean inversion conditions seem to be holding up well, but actually, but the range ended, That's a tough one. Actually, if you can define the mean inversion condition here on the 1 hour, that would be your best bet. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, if we break into that bearish mean inversion condition, you can short. That's probably it for today. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. You folks have a beautiful afternoon.